It's going forward, Stuart Sinclair. And another episode. But what are we going to be episodic about today? Well, what we're going to be episodic about is a man by the name of Chris Day. Now you would think, I might have heard of that name. It sounds familiar. He's a publisher, he's an entertainer, he organises worldwide events, he's got more medals and things than we could shake a stick at. I've got him here in evening dress in the middle of the day because guess what? He's going to some very important meeting and he's off to the House of Lords. I have no idea why, but Chris is going to share some things with us that'll make us feel very excited. Welcome to the show, Chris.
It's more than I deserve. It's always an honour and a pleasure to be in your good company and in the good company of your amazing team that are surrounding us. So, the way forward is the place to be. And anybody.
Except this is the TV station called Going Forward.
This is Going Forward. Well, only the names have been changed to protect the parties.
Yes, exactly.
And there's very few innocents around us.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Now, you are ostensibly a publisher of books, aren't you? Film publishing.
Indeed I am.
But you have another arm, the Authoritize.
Indeed.
I got it right, the Authoritize.
Yes.
It's a site to encourage people to write books and...
I have the best job in the world in that as a publisher I work with people who are passionate about their subject, who are desperate to share what they know with the world, to help other people and to share their enthusiasm. And people who are enthusiastic, passionate, on a mission are the best people to work with in the world. And
certainly are.
Absolutely. And the joy that I have is helping them to have a voice and to get that voice out to their world. And every author has got a different world.
Yep.
And many of them also build a business around their knowledge. And my passion is helping people to turn their knowledge into income. One of the ways of doing that is to become known as an expert in your field by writing a book.
Yes, so true.
In this age of electronic communication and e-books coming out of every hole in the ground, you would have thought that the world would have changed, but it hasn't. There is still nothing like having a properly published book to raise your profile and establish you as an expert. There's, I'm sorry to say, no e-book in the world that gives you that status in the marketplace.
No.
But having a book, publishing a book is one thing, marketing it and spreading it around the world and being found for who you are is another.
Yep.
At Filament Publishing, we love helping authors to get published, and we love to help and train them to be good at the skills that they need in order to use the social media tools, the marketing skills, the email, all of those wonderful tools. But if you're serious, if you're a public speaker, for example, and your world revolves around raising profile and engaging with your public in other spaces and other media, you do need more than just the book. You need the support of experts in order to ensure that you're in the media, that you're talked about. That
social media helps you.
Social media, I love social media, and it's a tool that if an author uses it effectively, it costs nothing, and it can achieve amazing results.
You've had 5 or 6, to my knowledge, #1 bestsellers from your publishers published at House last year, certainly.
Absolutely.
Things like Gosha, who went in many categories. So
absolutely, 3 in 1 week, as it happens. But it's that is very much a partnership between the publisher and the author. I have authors who don't get it, and turn around and say, "Well, I've written a blog this month. Surely I should be a bestseller." And for an author to be successful and to achieve those sort of results, they need to be asking themselves every single day, what have they done that day to raise their profile, to engage with more followers, to share their knowledge, because it's all about giving. And I believe knowledge is a currency. You can buy things with knowledge, but you cannot buy with money.
No, that's
I mean,
true.
with money you can buy a mailing list. With knowledge, if you give it away strategically, you can buy a following.
Yeah.
And that following will engage with you, will appreciate the value that you offer to them, and they will reward you by going to your seminars, visiting your speaking events, buying your book, buying your courses, listening to your webinars, and doing all those things that build a knowledge business. And if you're using all of those resources, you become an authorpreneur.
Yes.
And which is more than just being an author. An authorpreneur is somebody who understands how to engage with their market and to effectively do something every day to grow it.
Which sounds rather wonderful, and I think something that people should think about, particularly as writing a book, as you say, isn't just enough waving it around, but also you've got all of this support comes from you. Where can they find you, Chris Day, or your organisation, if they want to say, hey, I'm looking, or maybe I've got a book, or maybe I'd like to write a book?
Yeah, and I will happily answer that, but one thing, if I have time, I'd love to say, if I may first.
Go on.
And that is, a lot of people are daunted by the fact of sitting down and typing, and think that I will never sit down and find enough time to write a book. But there's a way of doing it which can be incredibly quickly.
Dictaphone.
I have one in my pocket. Yes, indeed. Here's one I prepared earlier. And you can speak at the speed of thought.
Yes.
You cannot type at the speed of thought. And if you're a public speaker, if you are, doing
presenter or anybody, yes.
Indeed, then you're talking the whole time. You're creatively sharing content, and if every time you're talking, whether you're giving a workshop or a seminar, you're on stage, you're mentoring, always record it. Capture those words, and then you can get them transcribed and then edited and then turned into, repurposed into content. It could be an article, it could be a blog, it could be a chapter in your book. So your words are the building blocks of all knowledge-based products. They don't have to be typed, they can be spoken.
Now there's a secret worth knowing, isn't it? If you can record yourself,
yeah, absolutely,
and then you listen back to yourself and think, hey, that could be a book, that could be my blog, that could be my Facebook of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even a tweet if you can get 25 words in. Yeah,
absolutely, yes. But we love to meet people, love to share share with people, and every month, on the fourth Tuesday of every month, somewhere that I know you know very well, is the Institute of Directors in Pall Mall in London. And we have an event there for authors every fourth Tuesday, 6 o'clock in the evening, where they can meet with other authors, mix, share, learn from each other, hear from fascinating speakers, and just move their own project forward and get all of their questions answered. So I invite warmly your viewers and listeners to come along on the fourth Tuesday. If you go to authorcraft.co.uk, everything you wanted to know but were afraid to ask is on that site, and click and come.
Indeed, and this is a man who knows how to help you get your book out. If you haven't got one yet, if you're planning one, writing one, stuck with one, please contact Chris, because he's a lovely chap, and he will help you develop the idea of how to get your story, your knowledge, because what people don't realise is your story may not be much to you, but somebody reading it may be hugely inspired. It will move them from a rather unhappy place to a happier place. So please think about that.
I believe that everybody's story, you're absolutely right, is inspirational. Mm-hmm. We've all been on a journey. We've all had potholes in the road. We've all tripped over. We've all picked ourselves up. And it's what you learn on that journey, and from the things that went well and the things that didn't. And it's the philosophy that you've formed as a result of those experiences. That's what interests people when they're looking for somebody to help them with whatever their challenges are. If they can read about somebody's journey and what they've learned, they understand where it all came from, why they are passionate about the things that they are. and because it's come from their experience. That makes them very genuine, and it also helps engage with people and build a following.
Well, thank you for coming in, Chris. I think
My pleasure.
What you've just said should inspire and engage people. And seriously, Chris Day at Filament Publishing is there to help you. Just contact his website. Give us it again.
Filamentpublishing.com. Filament as in light bulbs.